Hi, I'm Siddons and I'm going to talk you through adjusting your chair to best suit you and your workstation. If you've got a fixed height desk like this one where you can't adjust the whole desk down and up, you actually need to start by adjusting the height of your chair to suit your height when you're keyboarding at your workstation. So first of all, find your height lever that goes up and down. It's often on the right hand side of the chair, and make sure you know how to adjust it by lifting the lever up to lower it down, and then by lifting the lever up again and taking your weight off to lift it up high. So once you've found that lever, go into your desk and we're going to adjust the height of your chair according to where you like to have your hand position while you type. So I like to, and my desk is set up to have my keyboard close to me. I will need to move myself in because it's always best to be as close as you possibly can to your keyboard. So I want to make sure that my elbows are probably just below the height of the desk so they can freely move, but they can also nicely touch the keyboard. So I'm actually at about 90 degrees. So this height is perfect for me. Now, if I'm someone who likes to have the keyboard further away so that I can actually rest the weight of my arms on the desk as I type, I'll probably need to lower the chair down just a little bit. So find that lever on the side, lower it down a touch, and then come in again and try typing in that position. You do want to make sure that your shoulders can be relaxed. You don't want to be up so high that as you're typing, your elbows aren't touching the desk. You want to be able to relax the weight of your arms on the desk to take the load off your neck and shoulders as you type. The next thing we need to adjust is your seat pan. Now, the seat pan is just a fancy name for the part of the seat that you sit on. In this instance, the lever is on the right hand side, and if you lift that round lever at the front up, you can feel that you can slide the base of the chair forwards or lift it up again and slide the base of the chair back. Now, ideally, you want the back of your knee to have about 2 finger widths between the back of the knee and your chair. Now, it'll all depend on the length of your thigh and buttocks. So if you're someone who's got longer legs, you want to lift that lever and slide the seat pan forwards so that when you sit, just wiggle it back and forth a bit so it's locked in, so that when you sit, more of your thigh is actually supported when you've got your bottom back in the chair. So you wiggle your bottom back in the chair first, check for how much clearance you've got at the back of your knee between the front of the seat and your knee, and then I need to wiggle my back. So I'm going to lift the lever, push the seat pan back with my bottom and wiggle around so it's locked in. Yep, it's locked in. And now I can fit a couple of finger widths between the back of my knee and the front of the chair. So there you've got your seat pan adjusted to the length of your thigh and should feel nice and supported. The next thing we want to adjust is then your backrest. So still with your bottom wiggled right back in the chair, we can find the backrest reclining lever, which in this chair is on the left hand side. Now there's a lock and an unlock position. If you pull the lever backwards, you can see that the back of the chair is then free to rock backwards and forwards, which is nice if you're someone who likes to move a lot, but it's probably a little bit more distracting when you're trying to sit and work. So often we'll encourage people to lean back, find their happy spot so that they're really feeling well supported in their backrest, and then lock it off by flicking the lever forwards. Now, a lot of old-fashioned advice is to have a backrest bolt upright so that your posture is directly up and down. We now know that it's much better for people to be encouraged to lean back and use their backrest so that they're less likely to lean forward as time goes by as they succumb to gravity sitting in their chair. So we want to aim for our backrest to be reclined about 10 to 20 degrees. In this chair, we just unlock the back support, and this one's already reclined a little bit or for me, with where the position of the backrest, the low back support is. So I'll just lean back a little bit. I'm happy with that amount of recline. Flick it forward so it's locked in. And there I am, supported in that just slightly reclined position. Now that you've fixed up your seat pan, your recline of your back, you'll need to have a feel of how you'd like the backrest to be adjusted for height and also for low back support. In this particular chair, it's on a ratchet system and goes up one lever at a time. I think there's about 4 or 5 different heights. So if I just grab the base from both sides of the backrest, I can lift it up. That's one ratchet, and it brings up the height of the chair and also the low back support. Those two adjustments are together on this particular chair. So we can go up another level and yet another 1 or 2 levels, and you'll just feel as you lift it up which one feels most supportive for you and your back, and it'll also depend on the height of your trunk. Once you get to the top level, it'll go back down again and you can start lifting up. So there's 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just work out which level is best for you when you've got your bottom wiggled right back in the chair, and lock that in. Now, another consideration is whether or not you like to have arms on your chair. If you're someone who is constricted in a corner desk, you might like to have the arms removed so that you're encouraged to get up and down more often. Or if you're someone who finds that they just don't like to have arms on for safety reasons, or if there's something sharp nearby or you don't have enough room, then just use an Allen key underneath and remove the arms. Otherwise, if you're going to keep the arms there, you need to adjust them for height. There's a couple of considerations. Firstly, you want the arms to be able to come underneath the desk easily or above the desk easily, so that you are encouraged to get as close as you can into your desk for typing position. The further away you are, the more likely you are to reach and the more likely you are to slump forward at your desk. So come in close and make sure that you adjust the arms of the chair so that they easily slide in and under. The arm adjuster heights here are just by pressing the buttons in on the side, and they slide up and down. Now, if you're someone who's very tall or has a lower limb injury, so you really need to use the arms of the chair to get yourself up and out, to leave yourself up from sitting to standing, you might need to have them on a higher setting. But again, just make sure that they clear the desk. So either have them higher than the desk, or ideally you'd have them lower than the desk. Just make sure when they're lower that you've got enough room to put your hands underneath, that you're not going to jam your hands every time you come use your armrest to come in and out. So lastly, we want to consider whether or not you need a footrest. Now, if you come right into your desk and find that you've adjusted the height to suit you keyboarding, but your feet still don't sit completely flat on the floor with your bottom back in the chair, you might need to consider a footrest. Now, many temporary footrests are fine to start with. You can try some low boxes, you can try some reams of paper stacked on top of each other to get a guide as to how high you like your footrest. But you ideally want to aim for a more permanent footrest, like this one here, which I'll bring into view. It's a nice carpeted one. It's got plenty of room for your feet, and you can adjust the height to suit you. And when I come in and put my feet up on the footrest, then my thighs are well supported and I'm not having my feet dangling in the air with my heels off, which would cause some further lower limb, maybe foot and calf and ankle issues. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed finding out about how to adjust your chair. And if you've got any further questions, you can email me at Kim Siddons, that's Kim with a Y, K-Y-M, at kimsiddonsphysio.com.au. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions on an individual basis.